say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Wink and her necklace says best friends forever.
You sure you wanted to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense, but sometimes you grow apart. And maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Still Awkward with Sadie. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all of that stuff. Oh, set it on automatic download. That's very important, and that way it'll be on your phone right when you wake up in the morning. Anyway, thanks for listening today. I'm just going to jump right into it. And we're going to talk about...
Jump right into it.
I'm just going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about this Michigan pastor who had a church service for I guess it's called Giving Day. I don't know much about religion, and so they call it the Day of Giving. I don't know if this is just this church or if it's all churches have a Day of Giving. I don't know how that works, so please forgive me that I don't know the difference. But this Michigan pastor asks specifically for each of his parishioners to donate on Giving Day $2,000. He wanted $1,000 from their bank account, and then he wanted them to raise an additional $1,000. This money was going to go to a new structure for the church. And so they were raising this money. This blows my mind. This Michigan pastor, there is video of him, and people are walking up and handing him checks. And one woman steps up and she only has $1,200. And this is what happened.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfected Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
What did you think about that clip?
I think that maybe the priorities are a little out of whack there for multiple people, and not to get too deep into it, but I saw a couple of photos from some like 300-year-old cathedrals in Europe, and they are fantastic. They are gorgeous. They're just, oh my God, look at these archways and the marble and how big they are. And that's great. I understand the structure of creating a nice temple for the God that you follow. Like, I understand that. But that being said, those maybe cathedrals, synagogues, whatever you want to call that particular temple, that maybe should not be forced on the individuals that are following that particular faith, in my opinion.
Now, this is weird. This is another weird part about this story, because I totally agree with you. The other part of this story is he, at the beginning of the service, separates the people who can pay the $2,000. They get first in line for Giving Day. And then everyone else, they have to stay in the back of the line because they did not do what the pastor asked them to do, which is bring $2,000 to give on Giving Day.
Now, in his defense, I heard Jesus did the exact same thing.
Yeah, Jesus was like,
he said, you can't pay me, you're in the back.
You only have 2 goats. And I mean, essentially, that's kind of the vibe. So I wanted to talk a little bit today just about religion. And I know they say that's one of the things that you just don't talk about, but there's so much that I have my thoughts on religion.
Okay.
I am not a religious person. That doesn't mean I'm like an atheist by any means. I just don't believe in one sect of religion.
Sure.
I just don't. There are things I like about this part, and there are things I don't like about it, and there are things. But one thing that is such a disgusting turnoff to me is people like this Michigan pastor. Also, I'm going to play you a clip of this is pastor. And if you saw a picture of him, you'd be like, oh, I know who he is. But maybe you already know what he looks like. His name is Kenneth Copeland. And he was walking towards his Escalade with his bodyguards. And
wait, the pastor has an Escalade with bodyguards?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was walking. He was getting in his Escalade.
We're not talking about Joel Osteen, are we?
This is not. No, this is Kenneth Copeland.
Okay.
Okay. And this woman runs up. She's a journalist, and she's asking him one simple question.
Yeah.
And the simple question is, do you find it fair that the parishioners pay for you to fly on a private jet?
How are you, sir? We'd just like to ask you about why you don't want to fly commercial. Why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that?
No, listen to me just a second.
Of course.
Not the people. The main reason is because of the need. If I flew commercial, I'd have to stop 65% of what I'm doing. That's really the main.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business.
But this is an old clip.
This is an old clip, but it's my overall kind of vibe, because we can also move into Joel Osteen, who I am embarrassed to admit I have purchased one of his books.
Sure.
It must have been a low time in my life to purchase one of his books, but I did. There was a response from this Michigan pastor. And here's what the Michigan pastor said.
I was calling because the whole church was giving, and it was our day of giving, and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that, so I was calling them by increments. And we had someone that had given out of before, and I corrected it, and I told everybody to listen and come when you call, and that's all that was.
What's so sad about it is they interview the woman that he humiliated because she only had $1,200, and he kind of tossed her aside. And what's sad about it is she sounds like apologetic, like, oh, it wasn't his fault.
You're the woman in that viral video.
Right.
He did not rebuke you.
He absolutely did not rebuke me. Now, there's a difference. There was a correction, because let me clearly state that Pastor gave instruction on the lines to get into.
So that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about with religion.
Okay.
These things have been popping up for me, and I keep thinking
you have the same issue that I do, and it's not with religion.
Mm-hmm.
It's with hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's with religious hypocrisy. That's what we're talking about here.
Yes, that's your issue.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily one deity or faith. It's, hey, you're not necessarily following what you say here.
Yeah.
And you're making people feel bad just because they want to have faith or believe in XYZ. You're making them feel bad because you can only raise $1,200.
You're making them feel horrible.
Yeah.
And that's not even the point of going to church. You shouldn't feel horrible. Okay, the next thing that I want to get into. This is so embarrassing, and it's something I would do. So there was this beauty pageant. I think it was Miss Universe pageant, but I'm not quite sure. I frankly didn't really even know that these beauty pageants were still a thing, but apparently they are. And this was Miss Universe. So people competed all over the world. I don't know how you could say wouldn't you just say Miss World?
Wasn't there a Miss World, a Miss, and then it went to Miss Universe?
There's a Miss America.
Yep.
And then they go to Miss
World.
Universe. No, there's no Miss World.
Okay. Why would you say universe? It sounds better.
I don't know, but there is a Miss Universe, and something so cringy. And I'm not talking about the time where where Steve Harvey accidentally announced the wrong name.
Oh.
There are 2 women left, Colombia and Philippines. Please join me over here. one of you is about to become our new Miss Universe. If for any reason she is unable to fulfill her duties, the first runner-up will take her place. Good luck to both of you. Miss Universe 2015 is Colombia. Okay, folks. I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
Oh, and I'm also not talking about that cringy moment for that poor girl that was trying to answer a question and she blanked out. I feel that.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
What I'm talking about is this big pageant that they just had, and the announcer made an announcement. It must have been really loud, but he announced, and I'm going to play the audio clip so maybe you can hear it. He announced Miss Paraguay as the winner.
Okay.
So Miss Paraguay won.
Paraguay.
But Paraguay?
Yeah.
Paraguay. He announced, and the winner is Miss Paraguay.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Panama thought he said her.
Oh no.
And she walked up.
Paraguay! I beg your pardon. I announce Miss Grand Paraguay.
Oh, that's too bad.
I will also put the video of this. It's very cringy and I feel so bad because she walks up and she can't believe it. She can't believe it. And she's walking up and she's telling the crowd with her arms like, raise the roof. Woo, this is the best day of my life. And then she stands there. Nobody comes to her to give her the roses and the crown. There's this awkward silence. And then the host jumps in. Can you think of anything more embarrassing? That is one of those things that you would never get over. You would never and it would become a part of your story. It'd be one day it's going to be like grandma was in this pageant and they said that and she,
sure.
You know what I mean? Like
I get it.
I feel like that's something that she's going to have to live with forever.
Yeah, I could see that, but it's really about I think about this all the time. Are you going to be upset that you were slighted or something embarrassing happened if that's the thing that you do, the only thing, and you kind of stop there? Or if you just kind of blow through them, everyone has embarrassing moments. And the more moments you can have, the more you try to achieve something, the less likely it is someone will focus on just that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense because we talked a little bit about it yesterday with Bill Belichick. And I said he will forever be known with this Jordan Hudson girlfriend situation. No. And you said, no, that's not true. I still stand by it. And maybe we just have different views on things.
Here we go then. I'll prove this to you. We've talked about the Kardashians a lot.
Yeah, too much.
Too much. Okay. How'd they start to become famous?
Well, a sex tape.
Mm-hmm. But that is mentioned 2-3% about the Kardashians. It's everything else. And that's how it started. And she blew through all of that. And the family blew through all that and created something else where now that's just an afterthought. So that could have been the most embarrassing thing ever for them if they just stopped and said, well, I guess that defines me now, right? No, they blew through everything else and created an empire and whatever else. And that's on a macro scale. But I'm saying for anything else, you always are going to have flubs. You're always going to be embarrassed by something.
Big flub, though.
It's a pretty big flub. Which one? The
one,
Kardashian one or the Panama
one? Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But blow through it.
I feel like you've taught me a really important lesson today, and that's just how you handle things. You're very like, it is what it is. Who cares? And I'm more of the obsessive type.
Well, I'm not, it's whatever kind of, hippie, just going along the path. I'll try to be a little bit more intentional about things. But that being said, mess ups happen. Things are, you make errors, big flubs, embarrassments. All right, you could hold on to that one embarrassment, or you could just blow through everything. There's also another line that I think of quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Have we talked about this before in Glorious Bastards?
Yes.
Where he's like, you'll be hanged for this. You'll be court-martialed for this. Christoph Waltz is talking to Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt's like,
you'll be shot for this? Nah, I don't think so. More like chewed out. I've been chewed out before,
and I think
you love that line. You quote that line.
It's because it's great. It's like, it's all right. I've been chewed out before. It's fine. Moving on. And I think that I've been embarrassed before. Kind of a nice feeling sometimes, like, oh, I can't believe that happened. Oh man.
No, shut up. You're not that perfect where you get embarrassed and you're like, I love that.
No, I love it. It's just kind of a unique feeling where you're like, oh, this is kind of weird. Okay, whatever. But I don't stick on it.
See, I think
that's what you would agree with me on. I don't stick on much.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, all right, next. And just if you have an all right next opinion on things, all right, well, Panama, yeah. Oh man, can you imagine that? Like beauty contestants. Halle Berry was a beauty contestant, and if she was second place and this happened to Halle Berry, and her name got called,
mm-hmm.
You gonna remember that? Or are you gonna remember, all the things that she's done?
Well, we'll have to see what happens to Miss Panama.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the mentality she should have. Right? Is next. Let's go.
I just think I saw it and my heart just dropped for her because she was so confident. Like, I can't believe it. I won. And it was like the highest of highs. And then it was like the lowest of lows. And we saw it all across her face during that. It was so sad.
Do you know that? So they did this study on Olympic athletes. I'll promise I'll make a connection here. That the most depressed Olympic athlete is the person who finished with a silver, who finished in second.
Oh, really?
Third is much more joyous. First, obviously, over the moon. Didn't make the podium. Son of a gun. Okay. But second is you almost got there. You were almost there. What went
third
wrong?
is like, I'm lucky I'm here.
I'm here. I got here. Oh my God.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Right. But the silver medal ends up being probably the most depressed person because then you're thinking through what I do. How could I get there? Oh my God, I just lost this. Right. First place is loves it. Bronze is happy to be on the podium. And then everybody else, okay, we'll train for next time.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
That's crazy to think about.
So she probably was like, oh, I was so close. Oh my God, what happened?
We're going to talk a little bit now.
Oh, we're going to make a nice transition.
First of all, our thoughts are with Miss Panama.
Yes.
And I hope she's doing okay today because it's just flying around the internet. And
what was this in Miss Universe?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just looked up. She might be able to compete in Miss World, Miss International, or Miss Earth.
Miss Earth?
Yep. Those are the 4 big international beauty pageants.
I've never even heard of Miss Earth. So what do you have to do for Miss Earth? Do you have to compost?
Well, funny you mentioned that. The big 4. Miss World is known for its Beauty with a Purpose initiative, talent, sports, and multimedia challenges.
Okay.
Miss Universe typically features an interview, national costume, swimsuit, evening gown, and a final Q&A, which I don't know if they do a swimsuit anymore. Miss International, considered one of the 4 majors. That's all it says. Miss Earth focuses on environmental awareness and promotion.
Miss Earth?
Miss Earth.
Where do you even watch that?
I don't know.
Do you remember when beauty pageants were like a thing that was on television once a year? And it was a thing. You'd watch it with your family. Am I the only one that watched it with my family? beauty pageants were just the bomb, and they'd come out and they'd all be wearing kind of the same variation of the same swimming suit. They got the evening gown. They got to do these dance numbers. It was such pomp and circumstance, and I loved it.
It was water cooler talk. Like
it really was. It was, and I know when it was, when it was the Miss America pageant, I remember anytime Colorado got kicked out, I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, you would ride or die for your state, and you would just hope that they would win. But I feel like my state never won. And it was always like Miss Florida or Miss North Dakota. You know what I mean? It was always
North Dakota.
There are some pretty girls in North Dakota.
Do you know that Colorado has had Miss America winners? Yep.
What years?
Actually, as recently as 2024.
Shut up. Wait, last year, Colorado won?
Madison Marsh, who's a lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force.
What?
Yep.
See, now I feel bad that I said Colorado. Ooh, she's really pretty.
Yep. And she's a lieutenant in the Air Force. Okay. Well, here's a photo of her in fatigues.
She looks good.
She looks good. There you go. But yeah, she won Miss America in 2024. Before that, 73, 57, and 55.
You know what was so pervy? Miss Teen USA.
Don't get me started.
Don't you guys think that was like...
Don't get me started.
Teen USA, and they'd walk out and they'd be Miss Teen USA, and it was bizarro. And when did that stop?
I don't know if it stopped or not.
Well, I don't know if there's a Miss Earth I've never heard about than Miss Teen USA.
Yep, it's still going on. Yep, Miss Teen USA.
What? I'm surprised in this day and age they would allow that. Okay, the final story that I would like to wrap it up with today is, I know what we probably sound like we go back to the same well, but I feel like every day there's a new story about AI. And that podcast that I was talking about that I love listening to, it's the Sean Ryan Show, had on an expert, an AI expert.
Sure.
And she tells the story. There is this Reddit thread about AI, and a woman went on and she wrote about her marriage. And listen to this freakiness.
We did a podcast episode recently about this Reddit thread with this story that I just cannot get out of my head. So this woman, she's married to her husband. I think they had 3 kids together. She'd been noticing that over the last few months, he had been starting to get a little bit more distant. He sat her down one day and he said, "I'd like for us to open up our relationship to a third person." She said, "Who? What are you talking about?" He said, "I have an AI girlfriend." She said, "I started laughing at first. I couldn't believe it. Like, what do you mean? And open up our relationship to a robot? What are you talking about?" She started laughing, and then she realized he was dead serious. And he said, "The girlfriend and I, we've already talked about it. She helped me figure out how to have this conversation with you. She would like to be involved in the children's lives." This woman was just absolutely stunned. He's presenting this as an ultimatum. Like, this needs to happen or I'm going to leave the relationship. I'm going to leave our kids.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on that? My God. What would you do if I said, obviously vice versa? Because if I said, "I'd like to bring home an AI lady to join us," you'd probably be like, interested.
So what is just like a text thread? Like you're just chatting online?
I think you just chat, and you can chat like it'll chat through like we are so dumb to understand AI. So it's hard to explain. I don't think it's a robot. I don't think it's like a robot.
Yeah, it's like the movie Her, right? Where he just is it's a
yes,
yeah.
Yes, where she's
like
kind
be
of
involved
everywhere.
with the kid's life.
Well, like, I'll put him to bed tonight and tell them a story. That's what I imagine.
Yeah, you said it in a weird hocus pocus witchy type of way.
And tell them a story.
Yeah, I'll put them to bed tonight.
Well, I just think in the grand scheme of things, I mean, this is danger because robots aren't naggy to where us real women, we get to be a tad bit lippy sometimes.
Never.
And so
It's never happened.
So maybe an AI girlfriend. And then I'm like, okay, do you like just bring the iPad in the bedroom? And how does the robot contribute? Is she like, ooh, baby, yeah, baby, you know? Okay. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how this works. So I'm going to look a little bit more into it. And next episode tomorrow, we will talk about this. Like, what does this entail? Anyway, I'm going to leave it on that note. I want to say a big thank you to our show sponsors like Garage Door Service and Sales, Christiana Salon Spa, who is the presenting sponsor of the Friday weekly wrap-up roundup. And then also our friends at Wilbur's Total Beverage. Be sure to stop by Wilbur's Total Beverage, or you know what? Why not put in an order for delivery? That's right, you guys. You can order and have it delivered. Say you're having a party and you realize, we're running out of Schlitz. And so you have to just go on to the Wilbur's Total Beverage website or app, and you can order alcohol to be brought to your house. Everybody will be so excited and you won't have to leave. Gone are the days when it's like, oh, who's going to run to the liquor store? You don't have to worry about that with Wilbur's Total Beverage. Also, they are family owned and operated and locally owned and operated. So when you go in there, odds are you're going to see the owners. So say hello. They've got a great group of employees that are very knowledgeable, and they are always putting on really fun events and highlighting different drinks, different drink recipes. They just put a Halloween martini drink. I'm very excited to try that. And I'm going to find everything I need at Wilbur's Total Beverage. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will be back tomorrow.